Their arrogance invited humanity's wrath. The 1,000 robot legions will not be enough. They thought humans were fragile relics, relics of a backwater world unfit for cosmic wars, until the stars trembled as earthlings rose, not with brute force, but with unbreakable will, turning the tide where gods feared to tread. In the year 3000, the small planet Vega hung like a fragile jewel in the void, its surface a tapestry of serene valleys and ancient spires built for culture, not combat. With a population of just 2 million, its people had long forsaken weapons, relying on diplomacy in a universe teeming with predators. But now alarms blared across its capital as the Tyrannis Empire's fleet encircled the orbit. 200 warships, sleek and armored like predatory beasts, cast shadows over the peaceful landscapes. General Haldar, broad-shouldered and clad in dark battle armor, stood on the bridge of his flagship, his cold eyes fixed on the holographic display. "Vega falls today," he growled to his officers. "Their weakness invites conquest. Secure the surface within hours." Ayara, Vega's leader, paced the emergency bunker deep underground, her silver hair flowing like a cascade of moonlight, her slender frame tense but composed. For 50 years, Vega had shared knowledge and art with Earth, forging bonds stronger than steel. She activated the quantum communicator, her bright eyes pleading. "Earth allies, Tyrannis strikes without mercy. Our defenses are none. Help us, or we perish." On Earth, in the gleaming halls of New Terra's presidential complex, a sprawling fortress of glass and alloy rising 5 kilometers into the sky, President Selene received the distress signal. Tall and resolute, with dark hair pinned neatly and eyes sharp as lasers, she wore her tailored leadership suit, emblazoned with Earth's emblem of unity. She summoned the council immediately, 100 members converging in the war room within minutes. "We cannot stand idle while a friend is invaded," Selene declared, her voice steady and inspiring. "Peace isn't a choice, it's our duty. If we don't protect this planet, who will?" The debate raged for an hour, voices clashing like thunder. Some argued that isolation was necessary, citing Earth's own vulnerabilities. But Selene's conviction swayed them. "Tyrannis preys on the weak. We intervene not for glory, but for freedom across civilizations." The vote passed. 10,000 troops and 50 starships to deploy. Mobilization began at once, factories humming as drones assembled gear in 48 hours flat. Haldar intercepted the news via spies. From his command throne, he broadcast a warning across frequencies. "Earth may be bold, but you misunderstand this universe. We need no interference from a feeble civilization. Vega will be Tyrannis's, and none can stop it." His tone dripped with arrogance, underestimating humanity's resolve. Selene responded publicly, her image projected galaxy-wide. "Your empire thrives on fear, General, but Earth stands for peace and protection. We come not to conquer, but to defend, withdraw, or face the consequences." Her words ignited hope in Vega and stirred unrest at home. Ayara, monitoring from her bunker, convened a holographic meeting with Selene. "We wanted only harmony, not war. We weren't prepared for your aid, but now we might learn self-defense. Not every battle needs weapons." Her calm demeanor hid the fear for her people, as tyranny's probes already scorched Vega's outer colonies. Meanwhile, on Earth, whispers of dissent grew. Kallus, a tall, lean man with long hair and defiant eyes, dressed in simple civilian garb, rallied a group in the undercity shadows. Starting with 500 followers, they formed the dissenters, protesting military involvement. "You call this peace? It's a needless sacrifice. We're plunging into war not for justice, but for the ambitions of those in power." His fiery speeches drew crowds, occupying a plaza in one major city. Selene addressed the nation from her podium, flanked by holographic maps. "Our alliance with Vega spans decades. Tyrannis' aggression threatens us all. We deploy to preserve balance." Behind the scenes, she coordinated with commanders, ensuring the fleet's readiness. Ships lifted off from orbital docks, engines roaring as they pierced the atmosphere. Haldar laughed at the reports. "Let them come. Their toys will shatter against our might." He ordered intensified scans of Vega's core, hinting at deeper motives buried 5 kilometers deep. Secrets of an ancient artifact, though unspoken yet. As Earth's armada warped toward Vega, a 7-day journey through hyperspace, tension mounted. Soldiers trained relentlessly aboard, simulations running nonstop. On Vega, civilians sheltered in caverns, and Ayara was organizing supplies for a siege. Kallus's movement swelled, but Selene focused outward, her indecision fleeting as purpose hardened her. The first skirmish loomed. A Tyrannis scout vessel probed Earth's vanguard, lasers flashing in the dark. Human pilots evaded with precision, their ships nimble despite inferior tech. One enemy craft exploded in a fireball, debris scattering like stars. "Target neutralized," reported a captain, voice calm over comms. Selene watched from her command center, maps updating in real time. "This is just the beginning. Hold the line." Her leadership inspired, turning doubt into determination. Vega's fate hung in balance, Earth's intervention a beacon of defiance. Kallus, undeterred, broadcast from a hidden lair. "Our forces bleed for aliens while home suffers. End this madness." Protests turned chaotic, clashing with security in 3 cities. But no fatalities yet. Selene's orders are strict. Ayara sent gratitude via an encrypted channel. "Your courage saves us. Together we build peace anew." Her words echoed Vega's ethos, clashing with Tyrannis' brutality. Haldar's fleet tightened the noose, bombarding Vega's shields. Explosions rocked the planet, crumbling ancient temples. "Press on," he commanded. "The prize awaits below." Earth's fleet emerged from warp, arrays charging. Commanders issued orders. "Engage on my mark." The void ignited with fire, human ingenuity clashing against overwhelming odds. Yet in that chaos, humanity's spirit shone, adaptable, relentless, a force aliens had underestimated. As battleships maneuvered, Selene reflected briefly. Her hesitation in grand conflicts surfaced, but resolve won. "For peace," she whispered. The war for Vega had begun, inner doubts simmering as outer storms raged. The Tyrannis fleet, a swarm of 200 warships, descended like locusts on Vega's fragile surface, their plasma cannons carving scars across the planet's serene valleys. Within hours, 20% of Vega's infrastructure, cultural spires, and energy grids lay in ruins, smoke rising from shattered domes. General Haldar, his armored silhouette looming on the command deck, issued orders with chilling precision. "Seal the planet, no signals in or out. 24 hours and Vega kneels." His fleet tightened its blockade, severing all communication channels, leaving the planet mute in the cosmic void. On Earth, President Selene stood before a global broadcast, her dark hair stark against the glowing emblem of unity behind her. "Tyrannis threatens not just Vega, but the very idea of peace. We declare a state of war." Her voice carried resolve, though her eyes flickered with the weight of decision. She mobilized 5,000 reserve troops, their boots already marching to orbital transports. Factories churned, assembling drones and munitions at a relentless pace, while civilians watched holoscreens, torn between fear and pride. Kallus, his long hair whipping in the wind of a protest square, rallied 10,000 dissenters across 3 major cities, New Terra, Skyhaven, and Ironhold. "This war is a lie," he shouted, his lean frame taut with defiance. "Selene sacrifices our blood for alien dreams." His words ignited crowds, banners rising against the crimson dusk. Security forces held back. Selene's orders were clear: no violence, only containment. But the dissenters' chants echoed, sowing doubt in the heart of Earth's resolve. On Vega, Ayara led her people into caverns 5 kilometers beneath the surface, their silver-lit tunnels a labyrinth of last refuge. Her calm voice guided thousands, organizing supplies and medical units. "We hide to survive," she said, her bright eyes scanning holomaps. "Earth fights for us. We must endure." Her people, untrained in war, clutched cultural artifacts, praying their heritage would outlast the onslaught. Earth's armada, 50 starships strong, neared Vega after a 7-day hyperspace journey, their hulls gleaming under starlight. Commanders ran simulations, pilots checked weapon arrays, and soldiers steeled themselves in cramped barracks. "We hit them hard and fast," said Admiral Vren, her voice steady over comms. The fleet's sensors detected Tyrannis patrols, their signatures like predators stalking the void. Haldar's challenge arrived via intercepted signal, his cold face projected in Earth's war room. Your ships are toys, Selene. 72 hours and Earth will beg for mercy alongside Vega. His arrogance masked a deeper intent, his scans probing Vega's core for secrets buried deep. Selene, unflinching, met with her commanders in a secure bunker. 3 energy shields around Vega's capital, she ordered. We hold the line no matter the cost. Holomaps glowed, plotting defensive layers to blunt Tyrannis' assault. Kallus escalated his rebellion, his dissenters storming a broadcast station in Skyhaven. They hacked the global feed, his voice cutting through every screen. Selene drags us to ruin. This war isn't ours. His followers, now armed with stolen stun batons, clashed with security, though no blood had been spilled yet. Selene watched the broadcast, her jaw tight. He's dividing us when unity is our strength, she muttered, but her focus remained on Vega. Ayara sent an encrypted message to Earth's fleet, her words measured. Your sacrifice lights our hope. Together we'll forge peace from this chaos. Her bunker hummed with activity, civilians training to repair damaged shelters under her guidance. Above, Tyrannis drones bombarded the surface, reducing ancient plazas to rubble. Earth's vanguard reached Vega's orbit, sensors locking onto a Tyrannis scout group, 5 sleek fighters probing their defenses. Engage, Vren commanded. The lead human ship, Resolute, fired a salvo of kinetic rounds, shattering one enemy vessel in a burst of debris. The others scattered, but not before landing hits, scorching Resolute's hull. Minimal damage, reported the captain, voice clipped. We're still in the fight. Haldar monitored the skirmish, his lips curling. Let them taste victory. It'll make their fall sweeter. His fleet repositioned, preparing a ground assault with 1,000 robotic soldiers, their metal frames designed for slaughter. Vega's skies burned red, the blockade unbroken. Selene and her command center studied real-time feeds. They underestimate us, she said, her decisiveness growing. Push forward, protect the capital. Her orders sent ships diving into Vega's atmosphere, their shields flaring against enemy fire. Soldiers prepped drop pods, faces grim but resolute. Kallus's protest grew louder, his followers blocking a major transit hub. No more deaths for Vega, they chanted, unaware of the deeper stakes. Selene, torn between fronts, sent an envoy to Kallus, hoping to quell the unrest. We fight for freedom, not ambition, she insisted in a private message. He didn't respond. Iham, Ayara's people huddled in the caverns, their faith in Earth unshaken. Not all battles need weapons, she told a young aide, her voice steady despite the distant rumble of bombs. She coordinated with Earth's landing forces, sharing terrain data to counter Tyrannis' ground push. The first true clash loomed. Earth's drop pods screamed through Vega's atmosphere, landing troops near the capital. Tyrannis robots advanced, their lasers cutting through ruins. Human soldiers returned fire, their pulse rifles flashing in the dust. Hold the perimeter, shouted a sergeant, as explosions rocked the ground. Haldar watched from orbit, his scans intensifying. The prize is close, he muttered, eyes on a hidden signal from Vega's core. His ambition burned, blind to humanity's growing defiance. Selene's resolve hardened, her hesitation fading. We're not just saving Vega, she told her staff. We're proving peace can stand against tyranny. Her words rallied the fleet, their engines roaring as they braced for the next strike. The war escalated, Earth's courage a spark in the dark. Tyrannis' might loomed, but humanity's will burned brighter, setting the stage for a conflict that would shake the stars. Earth's fleet burst into Vega's orbit like a storm of defiance, sensors locking onto the Tyrannis blockade. 50 human ships maneuvered with precision, their energy shields flaring against incoming fire. The first clash erupted in seconds. Lasers crossed the void, and Admiral Vren's voice crackled over comms. All wings engage! Kinetic missiles streaked from Earth's vanguard, slamming into 15 Tyrannis vessels. Explosions bloomed silently in space, hulls crumpling like foil under the onslaught. Targets down, reported a pilot, his tone flat but triumphant. Tyrannis fighters scattered, their formation broken, but the Empire's numbers held the edge. From Earth's command center, 10 light-years distant, President Selene monitored every pulse via quantum links. Hollow displays surrounded her, flickering with real-time feeds from Vega's chaos. "Status on the fleet?" she demanded, her dark eyes scanning data streams. "Aids relayed. Minimal losses, shields at 80%. Selene leaned forward, her leadership suit crisp under the sterile lights. "Hold orbit. We buy time for ground teams." Her voice inspired calm amid the storm, though inner doubts nagged. Could Earth's tech truly match Tyrannis' might? Haldar, undeterred on his flagship, slammed a fist on the console. "They dare challenge us? Launch ground assault. 1,000 robotic legions. Seize the cities." His orders dispatch waves of mechanical soldiers, their armored frames dropping from orbit like meteors. Vega's surface shuddered as they landed, lasers carving paths through ruins. Haldar's cold gaze fixed on tactical maps. "Vega hides treasures we deserve. Crush resistance swiftly." He hinted at ambitions beyond conquest, speaking of cosmic dominance in encrypted logs, but kept the ancient artifacts' secret buried. Iyara, from her cavern refuge, linked with Earth's commanders via smuggled relays. Her silver hair caught the dim glow of hollow screens as she transmitted detailed terrain maps, valleys, ridges, and hidden passes etched from Vega's peaceful history. "Use these wisely," she advised, her voice steady and wise. "Our world fights not with arms but knowledge. Coordinate strikes here, at the central Thung Lung." Earth's officers nodded in virtual meetings, integrating the data to outmaneuver the robots. Ayara's calm coordination turned Vega's weakness into an asset, her people aiding from the shadows with sensor jammers. Back on Earth, Kallus expanded his uprising, his defiant eyes blazing in underground broadcasts. With 20,000 supporters, he seized control of 2 cities, Ironhold and Wavecrest, barricading streets and hacking power grids. "Selene's war drains us dry," he roared to cheering crowds, his lean frame pacing a makeshift stage. Protesters waved anti-war banners, clashing lightly with security drones. Kallus's movement grew viral, drawing deserters from military reserves. "We reclaim our future here, not on alien soil." Earth's troops descended on Vega, drop pods piercing the atmosphere in fiery trails. They established a temporary base in 12 hours flat, tents rising amid craters, defenses humming with portable generators. Soldiers dug in, their boots churning Vega's soil, while scouts relayed enemy positions. "Base secure," signaled the ground commander. Ayara's maps guided them, turning the landing into a foothold against overwhelming odds. The central valley erupted into battle, a cauldron of fire and dust. Tyrannis robots advanced in phalanxes, their lasers sweeping human lines. Earth's soldiers fought back with pulse rifles and drones, holding ridges for hours. Explosions rocked the terrain, and 500 human lives ended in the fray. Bodies claimed by plasma blasts, their sacrifices etched in comlogs. "Push them back," yelled a sergeant, rallying survivors. The valley's natural choke points, per Ayara's intel, funneled the robots into kill zones, where human ingenuity shone through adaptive tactics. Selene initiated a secret negotiation channel to Kallus, her image appearing in his hidden lair. "Kallus, this division weakens us all. Join the fight. Peace demands unity." Her tone mixed plea and command, revealing her occasional indecision in crises. Kallus crossed his arms, his voice hot with idealism. "You call this peace? It's a needless sacrifice. We're plunging into war for the ambitions of the elite. No deal." He cut the link, his rejection fueling more protests, now blocking supply lines on Earth. Holdar observed the ground losses from orbit, his vom-vo form tense. "Earthlings are tenacious pests," he admitted to aides, revealing a sliver of his drive. "We claim Vega not just for territory, but for power that reshapes stars." He avoided mentioning the artifact, focusing instead on rallying his forces. "Double the assault. Break their spirit." Earth gained a temporary advantage, orbital control shifting as Tyrannis regrouped. Human ships patrolled Vega's skies, resupplying ground teams amid sporadic fire. Yet internal tensions mounted. Kallus's occupations disrupted Earth's logistics, delaying reinforcements. Selene paced her command room, weighing options. "We adapt," she declared. "Humanity's strength lies in our will, not just weapons." Her words echoed HFY's resolve, turning setbacks into steps toward victory. Ayara praised Earth's efforts in a brief message. "Your bravery teaches us resilience. Not all wars need weapons. We fight with hearts aligned." Her people emerged briefly to aid wounded soldiers, forging bonds in the dirt. Kallus, emboldened, planned further escalations, his followers arming with improvised gear. "Selene's folly ends with us," he vowed, unaware of the Empire's deeper schemes. Haldar prepared countermeasures, his fleet repositioning for a decisive strike. "They think they've won ground? We'll bury them in it." His overconfidence blinded him to humanity's growing edge. The clashes intensified, Earth's forces holding despite costs. Soldiers shared stories in Vega's trenches, their camaraderie a shield against despair. One private muttered, "We came for peace. Stay for brothers." The war's rhythm quickened, pushing characters toward harder choices, humanity's spirit unyielding in the face of cosmic tyranny. Kallus stormed the streets of New Terra, his long hair matted with sweat, eyes burning with fury as he led 50,000 protesters in a surge toward the presidential complex. Barricades toppled under the crush of bodies, chants of "End the war!" echoing off towering alloy spires. His voice boomed through amplified speakers. "Selene sells our souls for Vega's dust. We take the capital now." Followers, armed with stun rods and improvised shields, overwhelmed outer checkpoints, their numbers swelling like a tide against Earth's fragile unity. Selene, in the command bunker, watched hollow feeds flicker with chaos. "Deploy security teams," she ordered, her tone sharp but measured. "Non-lethal only. No deaths. Keep casualties under 100. Riot squads advanced with shock batons and foam barriers, clashing in plazas where protesters hurled debris. Screams mixed with the hum of energy fields, but Selene's restraint held. Medics treated the fallen on both sides, her indecision in crises showing as she paced, weighing force against fracture. On Vega, Earth's ground forces repelled Tyrannis' second wave, their pulse cannons roaring in the Central Valley. Robots swarmed like insects, but human squads flanked them using Ayara's maps, shredding metal frames in crossfire. 1,000 Vega civilians, trapped in a collapsing dome, emerged unscathed as soldiers breached the siege. "Clear the zone," barked the commander, his troops dragging survivors to safety amid laser scorches. The push cost lives, but Vega's air cleared momentarily, smoke curling from defeated hulks. Ayara met Earth's field commander in a makeshift tent, her slender form stepping through dust clouds, silver hair catching faint sunlight. "Your valor saves us today," she said, her voice calm amid the rumble of distant artillery. "But peace endures through alliance, not arms alone. Let us plan for a future without chains." The commander nodded, sharing hollow projections of joint defenses. "We'll hold Tyrannis back. Your wisdom guides our strategy." Their discussion forged tentative bonds, Ayara's patience contrasting with the commander's battle-hardened grit. Haldar, aboard his flagship, summoned reinforcements without pause. "Dispatch 100 more warships," he commanded, his muscular frame tense over tactical displays. Vega's secrets demand total dominance. The vessels warped in, their shadows eclipsing Vega's moons, bolstering the blockade. His officers executed orders flawlessly, engines igniting in unison. "Earth's interference ends soon," Haldar muttered, his overconfidence masking growing frustration at human tenacity. Kallus hacked into global networks from a captured tower, his broadcast overriding every screen on Earth. "Selene's folly bleeds us dry. Senseless sacrifice for a distant rock, while our homes crumble." His words, laced with passion, showed protesters clashing in live feeds, fires blooming in city squares. Viewers across continents paused, doubt creeping into loyal hearts. Kallus's hasty idealism fueled the flame, his followers cheering as the message looped. Selene faced the council in a sealed chamber, hollow figures of 100 members glaring from their seats. "Our intervention protects freedom," she argued, standing tall despite the strain. "Tyrannis threatens all. Vega first, then us." Accusations flew, wasted resources, divided populace. Selene countered with data streams of Vega's rescues, her decisive gaze holding firm. Peace requires action. We stand united or fall apart. Murmurs shifted, but tension lingered, her leadership tested in the verbal fray. An explosion ripped through Earth's primary arsenal in Ironhold, flames engulfing 20% of the munitions stockpiles. Dissenters, infiltrated by Kallus's agents, triggered the blast with smuggled charges. Debris raining like meteors. Alarms wailed as response teams rushed in, containing the inferno before it spread. Sabotage confirmed, reported an aide to Selene, her face paling at the loss. Missiles and drones vaporized, crippling resupply lines. The act escalated the uprising, Kallus's hand evident in the chaos. Ayara transmitted a gratitude message through quantum relays, her image serene against Vega's battered backdrop. Earth's courage embodies true peace. We owe you our tomorrow. Let harmony prevail over hatred. Her words reached Selene's console, emphasizing Vega's nonviolent ethos, inspiring scattered applause in the command room. Ayara's resilience shone, her people rebuilding shelters even as Tyrannis loomed. Selene, isolated in her quarters amid mounting reports, made the call. Open a channel to Kallus. We negotiate now for unity's sake. Her voice carried quiet resolve, pushing past hesitation to bridge the divide. Aides scrambled to arrange the secret link as protests raged outside and Vega's battles intensified. Kallus's response waited, the fate of Earth's cohesion hanging by a thread. Human soldiers on Vega pressed their advantages, their lines holding against reinforced Tyrannis assaults. "Incoming ships, brace!" shouted a lieutenant as Haldar's fleet darkened the horizon. Lasers crisscrossed the sky, but Earth's adaptability turned the tide. Drones weaving through enemy fire. Casualties mounted yet morale held. Whispers of homefront turmoil fueling their fight. Kallus, in his command post, received Selene's overture amid cheers from his ranks. "She blinks first," he sneered, but curiosity stirred, his goals clashing with the war's broader shadows. Protesters fortified positions, unaware of Haldar's deeper ambitions, probing Vega's core. Haldar monitored Earth's internal strife via intercepted signals. "Their division is our weapon," he said, ordering probes deeper into Vega's crust. His forces regrouped, the added warships forming an unbreakable ring, their cannons charging for the next barrage. Ayara coordinated from her cavern, her meetings with Earth officers yielding hybrid tactics. Vega's knowledge fused with human innovation. "Peace through strength shared," she noted, her calm a beacon in the storm. Selene's negotiation loomed, her decision a pivot from conflict to potential alliance. The uprising boiled, Vega's defense strained, but humanity's core, resilient, ethical, pulsed stronger, a quiet force against the Empire's roar. Tensions peaked, actions chaining without breath, pushing toward fracture or forge. Earth's forces dug in at Vega's capital, a sprawling city of shattered spires and glowing ruins. 2,000 Tyrannis robots charged the perimeter, their metal legs pounding the cracked earth like thunder. Human soldiers linked arms with Vega civilians, unarmed but armed with local knowledge, forming hybrid squads. "Flank left," barked Earth's commander, as pulse rifles spat fire into the advancing horde. Ayara's people jammed enemy sensors with improvised devices, turning the tide in narrow streets. Explosions ripped through ranks, shrapnel flying as 50 robots fell in the first minute. Haldar directed from a hovering command pod, his Vamvo frame silhouetted against Vega's twin suns. "High-power lasers, sweep the lines," he roared. Beams lanced down, vaporizing barricades and scorching soil. 30% of Earth's troops vanished in the blaze, 900 lives erased in flashes of light, screams cut short. Survivors dove for cover, their armor melting, but held the core. "Regroup," yelled a sergeant, dragging a wounded comrade through dust clouds. Haldar's direct command intensified the assault, his cold eyes scanning for weaknesses. Selene, monitoring from Earth's distant hub, slammed her fist on the console. "Send reinforcements, 3,000 elites. Warp them in 5 days." Ships jumped hyperspace, carrying hardened veterans equipped with adaptive shields. Aides relayed, "ETA confirmed. They'll hit Vega hard." Selene's decision cut through her hesitation, her dark hair disheveled from sleepless nights. The fleet accelerated, engines straining against cosmic drag. Kallus, in a tense hollow call from his bunker, nodded curtly. Temporary talks, Selene. No full truce. His long hair framed a wary face, defiance simmering. Yet he agreed to pause occupations, channeling energy into protests across 5 cities: New Terra, Skyhaven, Ironhold, Wavecrest, and Starport. 20,000 marched in each, banners high, chanting against war. "We negotiate, but the people demand answers," Kallus broadcast, his voice echoing in packed squares. Security watched, tense but non-violent. Ayara pulled Earth's commander aside in a secure cavern, her silver hair catching the lantern glow. "Our scans show anomalies deep below, ancient echoes, perhaps relics from eons past." She traced vague patterns on a hollow map, not revealing the artifact's full power yet. "Tyrannis digs toward something vital. We must investigate." The commander frowned, relaying to Selene. "Possible strategic asset. Unclear." Ayara's hint planted seeds of doubt, her calm words masking Vega's buried secrets. Tyrannis struck without warning in orbit, an ambush fleet emerging from cloak. 10 Earth ships crumpled under torpedo barrages, hulls breaching in silent voids. "Evasive!" screamed pilots, debris fields blooming like flowers of death. Alarms wailed as survivors regrouped, shields flickering. The attack cost 200 crew, but Earth's remaining vessels countered with missile swarms, forcing retreat. "We lost the Valor and 9 others," reported Admiral Vren, voice steady despite grief. Earth's counterattack surged on Vega's surface. Troops stormed a Tyrannis outpost, grenades arcing into bunkers. "Breach now!" ordered the lead squad, blasting doors with shaped charges. Robots defended fiercely, lasers crisscrossing corridors, but humans adapted, using Vega's terrain for cover. They captured the base in 20 minutes, seizing data cores and weapons caches. "Outpost secured," signaled the commander, his team planting flags amid smoldering wrecks. The victory boosted morale, prisoners yielding intel on Haldar's patterns. Selene faced internal heat in a stormy council session. Hollow figures accused, "Dissenters erode our strength." She fired 3 advisors suspected of leaking to Kallus, their faces paling as security escorted them out. "Loyalty or leave," she stated, her eyes steel hard. Pressure mounted. Protests disrupted supply chains. Kallus's influence spreading. Selene paced alone afterward, her resolve cracking briefly before reforming. "We unify or perish," she whispered. Haldar broadcast an ultimatum from his pod, his tone unyielding. "Vega surrenders in 48 hours, or we raise it all." The message looped galaxy-wide, demanding total capitulation. His fleet hovered, cannons primed, reinforcements integrating seamlessly. "Earth's meddling ends," he added, hinting at greater powers without detail. Vega trembled under the threat, civilians whispering fears in caverns. Tension spiked as signs of the twist emerged. Earth scouts reported unusual Tyrannis digs, tunnels boring 5 kilometers deep, guarded heavily. "Not just conquest," muttered an analyst to Selene. "They're after something buried." Ayara's earlier hint echoed, her people unearthing faint energy readings. Haldar's scans intensified, his overconfidence veiling desperation. Kallus, in talks, sensed shifts. "What's Tyrannis hiding?" Protests paused briefly, curiosity stirring. On Vega, battles raged without respite. Human elites arrived mid-firefight, dropping into the capital like avenging angels. "Reinforce the lines," they shouted, turning a rout into a stand. Lasers clashed with shields, bodies piling in streets. Ayara coordinated from shadows, her wisdom saving squads from traps. "Peace demands sacrifice," she told a human medic, bandaging wounds. Selene pushed negotiations with Kallus harder. "Join us fully, the threat's bigger." He wavered, his hasty nature clashing with emerging truths. Protests in the 5 cities turned inquisitive, crowds demanding intel on Vega's secrets. Haldar's ultimatum clock ticked, 47 hours left. His forces probed deeper, robots excavating amid skirmishes. Earth's counteroffensives gained ground, but losses mounted. Another 100 fallen in orbital scraps. "We hold," Vren reported, her fleet scarred but fierce. Ayara revealed more Inanna encrypted burst. The anomalies pulse with unknown energy. Tyrannis nears it. The commander relayed, "Twists brewing. Prepare for revelation." Kallus's broadcast softened slightly. "If Selene's right, we fight together." But tensions boiled, internal rifts, external assaults converging. Humanity's edge sharpened, their ethical core outshining the Empire's brute force. Actions chained relentlessly, no breath for the weary, as the war's true stakes loomed. Earth scouts penetrated Vega's crust, drones humming through seismic tunnels 10 kilometers deep. Sensors pinged anomalies, fresh excavation scars, Tyrannis drill marks scarring ancient rock layers. "Enemy digs confirmed," reported the lead scout, his voice crackling over comms. Teams rappelled down shafts, flashlights cutting shadows, uncovering vast chambers rigged with Empire tech. Cables snaked into darkness, power hums echoing like distant thunder. One soldier kicked a loose panel, revealing blueprints hinting at a buried prize beyond mere resources. Ayara joined the recon team in a secure cavern, her silver hair tied back, eyes wide with guarded knowledge. "The artifact exists," she confirmed, tracing holographic scans from Vega's archives. "Buried 1,000 years ago by our ancestors, a crystalline core pulsing with cosmic energy, capable of reshaping stars or shattering worlds." Her voice stayed calm, but urgency laced her words. "Tyrannis seeks it not for Vega's soil, but for universal dominance." Earth's commander nodded, relaying data bursts to orbit. Energy signatures off charts, potential to fuel endless fleets or warp reality itself. Haldar, monitoring from his command pod amid orbital chaos, received the breach alert, his face twisted in rage. "Accelerate seizure. Deploy 500 elite commandos now." Orders barked, dropships launching from his flagship, soldiers in powered exosuits plummeting toward the dig site. "Secure the relic at all costs," he commanded, his muscular arms gesturing at tactical displays. Commandos hit the surface in minutes, boring lasers melting rock, advancing in tight formations through Vega's underbelly. Selene absorbed the report in Earth's war room, hollow images flickering with excavation feeds. "Not resources, it's this artifact," she realized, her dark eyes narrowing. "Tyrannis plays for godhood." Aides scrambled, analyzing scans. The object's power could tip galactic scales. Selene's hesitation vanished. She issued alerts galaxy-wide. "Redirect all assets. Protect that core." Kallus intercepted the intel via a planted spy in Selene's council, his lean frame tensing in his hidden lair. "An artifact? Tyrannis wants cosmic rule?" His defiant eyes softened, perspective shifting. "This changes everything, not Selene's folly, but a threat to all." He broadcast to his followers, "The war's deeper. We fight not against Earth, but for survival." Protests in 5 cities morphed, crowds chanting unity over division, his hasty idealism pivoting toward alliance. Battle erupted underground, Earth's defenders clashing with Tyrannis commandos in claustrophobic tunnels. Lasers ricocheted off walls, grenades crumpling passages. "Hold the choke point," shouted a human sergeant, squads firing from barricades of fallen rock. Commandos pressed, their suits shrugging off hits, but humans adapted, using Vega's natural vents for flanking ambushes. 200 Earth soldiers fell in the melee, bodies claimed by cave-ins and plasma bursts, screams echoing in the depths. Survivors pushed back, sealing shafts with explosives, buying precious minutes. Ayara led a mixed team deeper, her slender form navigating ancient paths lit by bioluminescent fungi. "Follow closely," she instructed, guiding 10 humans and Vega scouts through hidden routes. They reached the chamber, a glowing obelisk, 10 meters tall, humming with ethereal light. "Infinite energy source," Ayara described, her hand hovering near its surface. "Harnesses void itself, could end wars or ignite them eternally." Scans spiked, revealing quantum fluctuations capable of bending space-time. "Tyrannis must not claim it," she urged, her patience hardening into resolve. Haldar's intercepted transmission crackled through jammed channels, his voice booming in Earth's decryptors. "The artifact grants universe mastery. Empires will bow to Tyrannis." He revealed his plan. Wield the relic to conquer stars, subjugate civilizations. Vega's weakness hides our ascension. Selene's team blocked the full broadcast, but the leak confirmed fears. Haldar's overconfidence spilled, blind to the growing coalition against him. Selene contacted Kallus directly, her image projecting in his command post. "We cooperate now, protect the artifact together." Kallus nodded, his voice firm. "Agreed. My forces join yours." Negotiations sealed in seconds. Dissenters repurposed as reinforcements, 20,000 mobilizing for Vega. Selene's decisiveness shone, firing up joint ops. "United, we stop this." Internal alliance formed swiftly, Kallus's networks feeding intel, Earth's fleets rerouting to Vega's core. Tensions eased on the home front, and protests turned to recruitment drives. "For humanity's future," Kallus declared, his change complete. Ayara praised the shift. Cooperation over conflict, true strength. High alert gripped Vega. Haldar's commandos regrouped, drills winding deeper. Earth's elites dropped in, sealing tunnels with energy barriers. Skirmishes flared above ground, lasers painting the skies. "Incoming assault," warned scouts as 500 more Tyrannis units converged. Selene oversaw from afar, her command room buzzing. "Brace for climax. The relic decides all." Underground echoes built, artifacts hum, intensifying like a heartbeat. Humans adapted tactics, Vega's knowledge fusing with Earth's grit. Haldar pushed harder, his fleet bombarding surface entry points. "Seize it!" he roared, unaware of the unified front rising. Casualties mounted, but resolve hardened. Humanity's ethical core outmatched the Empire's greed. Actions blurred into frenzy. No pause in the descent toward peak confrontation. Selene and Kallus finalized the agreement in a secure quantum-linked conference, their holographic projections facing each other across the void. Selene, her dark hair neatly pinned and eyes resolute in her leadership suit, extended the digital seal first. "We mobilize your 15,000 immediately. Integrate them with our vanguard at Vega's equatorial landing zones." Kallus, his long hair tied back in civilian garb, now augmented with tactical vests, nodded sharply, his defiant gaze softening into alliance. "My people are ready. They've traded protest signs for pulse rifles. Transports launch from Earth in 2 hours." The pact activated logistics chains. Dissenters boarded shuttles in New Terra's undercity docks, equipped with scavenged armor and basic training sims en route. Within 4 hours, the first wave arrived at Vega, merging seamlessly with Earth's 10,000 ground troops, forming mixed units under joint command. Drills commenced on the fly, Kallus's urban fighters teaching guerrilla maneuvers, Earth's elites sharing weapon mods. Morale surged, former rebels fist-bump soldiers, chanting, "Unity strikes." The Allied force launched a coordinated assault on Tyrannis' primary base, a massive complex spanning 5 square kilometers on Vega's rugged equatorial ridge, ringed by anti-air turrets and force fields. At dawn's first light, Alliance artillery, 50 mobile cannons repositioned overnight, unleashed a barrage of plasma shells, cracking the outer shields in synchronized volleys. "Advance squads, go!" commanded Earth's field general via encrypted comms. Kallus's 1,500 led the breach, using hoverbikes to skirt craters and lob EMP grenades into hangar bays. Explosions chained through the fleet, 50 Tyrannis warships, docked for resupply, ignited one by one, fuel lines rupturing, engines overheating into fireballs that lit the horizon orange. Debris scattered across the ridge, crushing robot sentries below. Alliance snipers picked off fleeing officers from elevated positions, while drones hacked enemy comms, broadcasting surrender demands. The base fell in 45 minutes, yielding stockpiles of ammo and data drives revealing Haldar's troop deployments. Casualties were light, 200 Alliance wounded, but the victory crippled Tyrannis' surface ops, forcing their remnants into defensive pockets. Haldar retaliated from his personal command cruiser, descending through Vega's atmosphere like a vengeful meteor, his broad-shouldered frame strapped into the pilot's throne amid flashing alerts. "Initiate final counter, bioagent dispersal," he bellowed to his bridge crew, slamming controls to release payload canisters from the cruiser's underbelly. The weapons deployed in a wide arc, aerosol clouds of engineered nanites designed to infiltrate suits and corrode neural links, spreading across Alliance front lines in the ridge's valleys. 1,000 fell victim, 500 Earth soldiers convulsing in their armor as systems shorted, nerves firing erratically, 300 Vega auxiliaries gasping in unfiltered air, collapsing amid supply convoys, and 200 of Kallus's recruits, their improvised gear failing against the mist. Screams echoed over open channels, medics rushing with antidote injectors that saved half but left scars. Haldar's cruiser strafed survivors, its ventral lasers carving furrows in the dirt, killing another 50 in pinpoint strikes. His voice taunted via broadcast, "Feel the Empire's wrath. Your meddling ends in agony." The attack disrupted Alliance momentum, forcing retreats to high ground where wind dispersed the nanites after 10 minutes. Ayara, stationed in the relic's antechamber, 10 kilometers underground, reacted swiftly upon detecting the surface breach. Her Manchmai fingers flew over the artifact's control interface, a glowing panel of ancient runes etched in crystal. "Activating Guardian protocols," she announced to her small team of Vega scholars and Earth guards, her bright eyes focused amid the humming energy field. Barriers erupted, concentric waves of force, invisible but impenetrable, sealing all access tunnels with shimmering veils that repelled drills and explosives. The delay locked in for 24 hours, buying critical time as Tyrannis commandos hammered futilely against the shields, their tools sparking harmlessly. Ayara monitored vitals. Energy draw stable, holds against 50 simultaneous breaches. Her activation not only stalled the enemy, but amplified the relic's passive emissions, jamming nearby enemy sensors and giving Alliance scouts clear paths to regroup. The peak confrontation unfolded in the ancient vaults, a labyrinth of echoing halls carved by Vega's precursors, now a battlefield of shadows and light. Earth's strategists unveiled their ace, pre-planted seismic charges in the cavern's fault lines, rigged with proximity triggers and cloaked by Vega's natural magnetic interference. "Detonate Sequence Alpha," ordered the underground commander as Tyrannis' 500 elites poured through a forced entry, their exosuits clanking on stone floors. Charges erupted in a calculated chain, first collapsing side tunnels to funnel enemies into the main chamber, then unleashing rock slides that buried 200 commandos under tons of debris. Survivors charged the relic, lasers scorching Alliance defenders huddled behind barricades of fallen pillars. Hand-to-hand ensued, humans grappling armored foes, knives piercing joints, while Vega tech jammers disabled enemy HUDs mid-fight. Kallus orchestrated the rear ambush from concealed vents above the chamber. His force of 10,000 split into 5 assault waves, dropping through maintenance shafts mapped by Ayara's archives. "Strike now, rear guard," he yelled, rappelling down with the lead squad, his stun baton crackling as it fell to Tyrannis officer. His troops swarmed from behind, using flash bangs to disorient and coordinated fire to dismantle phalanxes. One wave hit logistics lines, destroying ammo crates. Another flanked heavy gunners, turning their own turrets against them. Kallus personally led a charge through a side corridor, his hasty commands adapting to chaos. "Left team, suppress. Right, advance." They claimed 100 enemy lives in the first push, securing high ledges for sniper overwatch. Selene oversaw the frenzy from Earth's orbital relay, real-time feeds painting her command room in red glows. "Commit the reserves, sacrifice the forward platoons to draw them deeper," she decided, her voice unwavering as she marked units on the holomap. 800 volunteered for the bait, holding exposed positions in the chamber's entrance, drawing tyrannous fire while charges primed. Lasers claimed them methodically, 400 vaporized in sustained barrages, their sacrifices luring Haldar's elites into the trap's heart. Selene watched the counters drop, her jaw set. Their lives by victory. The ploy worked. Enemies overextended, exposed to Kallus's ambush in the seismic blasts. Haldar crashed into the chamber personally, his command pod bursting through a weakened ceiling in a hail of rubble, exosuit deploying as he leaped out. Alliance forces converged, lasers pinning his escorts, 50 guards cut down in crossfire. Kallus's blade pressed his throat, Earth's snipers covering from alcoves. "Surrounded, General," Selene transmitted via hacked channels. Haldar, bloodied but defiant, lowered his weapon. "Earth's tenacity, I underestimated. You wield not just arms, but unbreakable will." His admission echoed, broadcast to his crumbling fleet, sowing doubt among his ranks. The relic teetered on capture. A squad of 20 Tyranny's elites breached the inner barrier as shields flickered low, their leader's hand inches from the crystal core. Energy surged wildly, threatening overload. Alliance reinforcements, Kallus's final wave, stormed in, grenades arcing to blast the intruders back. IRA recalibrated on the fly, pulsing a defensive shockwave that stunned the squad, allowing snipers to finish them. The core stabilized, its glow steadying as the last enemy fell. Tyrannis shattered under the onslaught, their orbital fleet retreating in disarray, ships warping out amid pursuit fire from Alliance cruisers. Haldar's cruiser escaped barely, engines trailing plasma leaks. Vega's surface cleared, Alliance banners rising over ruins. The push sealed the war's end, humanity's ingenuity and ethics triumphant, leading inexorably to peace's dawn. Alliance forces surged through the relic chamber's wreckage, Earth's elites and Kallus's reformed dissenters closing on Haldar's position. 12 hours of unrelenting combat had scarred the underground halls. Lasers scorching walls, grenades crumpling support beams, bodies littering the crystal-lit floors. Haldar, cornered in his shattered command pod, fired wildly, his exosuit venting steam from multiple breaches. "Flank right! Suppress fire!" Kallus barked, his squad of 500 pinning the general with coordinated bursts. Earth's snipers from elevated ledges picked off his last guards, 20 elites falling in rapid succession. Haldar dropped his weapon as chains clamped his wrists, Kallus's blade at his throat. "It's over," Selene transmitted from orbit. The capture sealed the final battle. Tyrannis remnants scattering into Vega's tunnels, hunted down in mopping ops that claimed another 100 enemy lives. Vega emerged liberated, its skies clearing as Alliance ships patrolled uncontested orbits. Ira stepped onto the capital's central plaza, ruins still smoldering around her, silver hair flowing in the breeze. Before a gathered crowd of 10,000 survivors, Vega natives and human allies, she raised her arms. "Today marks our new peace," she declared, her voice steady and resonant over amplified speakers. "No more shadows of empire. Vega stands free thanks to shared courage." Cheers erupted, civilians emerging from caverns to rebuild, Alliance engineers deploying repair drones to restore 20% of the city's infrastructure in the first day. Flags of unity, Earth's emblem fused with Vega's cultural motifs, waved from makeshift poles, symbolizing the dawn of recovery. Back on Earth, Selene and Kallus convened in New Terra's presidential hall, holographic feeds linking to Vega's celebrations. "We unify the government now," Selene stated, her leadership suit crisp despite exhaustion. Kallus, his long hair trimmed for the occasion, signed the accord merging dissenters into official roles, his followers gaining seats in the council, ending internal strife. Protests dissolved overnight, 5 cities that once burned with unrest now hosting unity rallies attended by 50,000. Security forces stood down, resources redirected to Vega aid shipments, medical supplies for 1,000 wounded, tech kits to fortify defenses. Selene's decisiveness bridged the divide. Kallus's idealism channeling into policy, chipping away at old fractures. The ancient artifact, secured in its chamber, became a shared guardianship. Alliance teams, 200 Earth scientists and Vega scholars, installed joint protocols, rotating patrols of 50 guards, energy shields tuned to neutral access. The obelisk's glow stabilized under cooperative study, its infinite power harnessed for peaceful means, powering Vega's grids without weaponization. "This relic binds us," Ayara noted in a joint briefing, her team unveiling scans showing its cosmic potential. Bending hyperspace for trade routes, not conquest. It stood as a beacon of collaboration, etched plaques commemorating the fallen, turning a weapon of the gods into a tool for harmony. Haldar faced trial in a makeshift court on Vega's surface, chained before a panel of Selene, Kallus, and Ayara. Holocameras broadcast galaxy-wide, 100 representatives from neutral worlds observing via links. You sought domination, Selene accused, presenting intercepted logs of his artifact plans. Haldar, stripped of armor, his muscular frame slumped in defeat, met their gazes. I admit failure, he growled, voice low but clear. Tyrannis crumbled before your unity. Strength and division's end. Sentenced to life on a neutral prison world, his confession rippled through Empire remnants, sparking defections. 5,000 Tyranny soldiers surrendering in the following week, their fleets dismantling under Alliance oversight. Ayara extended invitations to other civilizations, her diplomatic envoys warping to 20 nearby systems. Join our peace alliance, she broadcast from Vega's restored comm tower, her message detailing the relics' shared protection and trade pacts. Responses flooded in. 3 empires pledged immediately, sending delegates for summits. Vega hosted the first gathering in a rebuilt hall, Ayara presiding over talks that forged non-aggression treaties, her patience weaving a web of interstellar cooperation. Earth ascended as a galactic icon, its population swelling with pride in its ideals. Billboards in New Terra flashed HFY montages, humans outwitting superior tech, ethical resolve trumping brute force. Schools taught the war's lessons, enrollment in Unity programs spiking by 30%. Kallus toured cities, his transformation inspiring youth, from rebel to statesman, embodying humanity's adaptability. Selene delivered her closing address from Vega's plaza, standing beside Ayara and Kallus, the artifact's distant hum underscoring her words. We fought not for victory alone, but for a peace built on cooperation, she said, her voice carrying a quiet depth, eyes reflecting on the costs, the lives lost, the doubts conquered. Haldar's empire fell because we set aside differences, harnessing our shared strength. This relic, once a threat, now symbolizes what humanity offers the stars. Innovation through unity, not domination. In the quiet that followed as stars wheeled above a healing Vega, the universe shifted toward a brighter horizon. No more endless wars. Instead, alliances bloomed, trade lanes opened, and cultures intertwined without fear. Humanity's legacy endured, not as conquerors, but as architects of enduring peace, where cooperation eclipsed violence, forging foundations for a cosmos united in harmony. Selene lingered on the platform, her thoughts drifting to the fallen, a subtle smile forming as she envisioned generations thriving in this new era, their spirits unbroken, their ideals eternal.